Hey, there were some tweets going around this week about context in Phoenix and how that may have hurt adoption. I agree. I've tried to use Phoenix a few times. And when I run into context, I'm like, I don't need these right now. I don't understand my application enough to know what to name these things. And that's a big ask people to name things, especially before they understand what it is. And I think an even bigger ask is in the README, it says, hey, if you don't know what to name these things, just trust us. Name it this. And so you're just typing all these things into generators. Seems verbose, doesn't seem intuitive. Contrast that with Rails. You're not really dealing with contexts when you start building an app. And I think that's true whenever you're kind of starting a greenfield application. You don't really know what to name a lot of things. So the less naming you have to do, the better. Now, when a project gets bigger, you will start naming things, right? In a Rails app, I think a common thing you end up with, if you're lucky enough to have a successful project with paying users, you have a customer service admin panel. And obviously, the way that a CS rep interacts with users is way different than how a user would experience users. So that is an example of context, and I think the trade-off is, in Rails projects, they tend to become more disorganized as they get older, because that kind of idea of a context is implicit. So you have to know what you're doing ahead of time. Whereas with Phoenix, you have to know what to name your thing and be able to think ahead, or just kind of go on their word of what to name the context. So it's a trade-off, but the one I'll take all day long. I think starting a project and getting it to a point where it has users, that's the hardest and most critical part of any project. So the less you have to think about and do there, and the more you can focus on your customers, the better.